Hello, we are back with the second part of our chapter, Natural Resources. Now, in this, we are going to talk about air and its importance. Of course, about its components and the importance of air around us. Now, we all have seen that there are renewable sources, so air is also one of the renewable resource which is present around us. And you all know that Earth, it is surrounded by a thick blanket of air which is known as atmosphere, and this layer extends up to many kilometers above the surface of the earth. Yeah, we cannot feel air. Sorry, we cannot see the air, but we can feel it. Yes, when you switch on the fan and you will know its presence. Okay, how you will know the presence of air around you? You need to switch on the fan. Whatever air is present around you, you will feel that. You feel pleasant in a hot day, we can say, if you turn on the fan. Yes, so all these components. Now, air is made up of different gases. There is a mixture of gases, we all know about it, and it includes different gases like nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapor, and other gases which are found in very small amount or trace amount, we can see. Now here you can see a pie diagram which shows you the distribution of gases on the earth's surface. Like the first one, the blue part of the pie chart, is the nitrogen gas, which is around 78% on the earth's surface and is the most abundant gas in the air. But some of the properties of nitrogen are like it neither burns nor helps in burning. Thus, it is called as inactive gas or inert gas. But this nitrogen gas is used in packed food. In chips packet, you might have, if you have read the ingredients, you might have seen that nitrogen is being filled inside the packet to keep it crispy. The chips must be crispy. For that purpose, nitrogen is being filled inside the packets, and they allow the food to remain fresh. So nitrogen is required by plants for their growth, but it is not important for human being. We do not take it inside the body during respiration. The next gas which is shown in yellow color is oxygen. So around 20% or 21% of the earth's surface or the atmosphere is made up of oxygen. Now this is a very important gas for all the living beings. All the living beings require oxygen present in the air for respiration. Oxygen, it supports burning, and the adequate supply of oxygen is always necessary to burn fuels. Okay, now these fuel is a substance which when burned provides heat and light. Yes or no? The fuels which we have around us, petrol, diesel, or any kind of fuels, the natural oils which we have, they burn, and what do they provide after burning? They provide us with heat and light. So mountaineers and divers, they always carry oxygen cylinders which help them to breathe where the oxygen content is low. Now you all know that always the astronauts and all, they also, and the sea divers, they also carry oxygen cylinders along with them, because when they go deep inside in the ocean, or the astronauts when they go in the space, the oxygen level decreases over there, and therefore they need a good supply of the gas, and therefore they carry oxygen cylinders along with them. Then the next important gas is carbon dioxide. Now carbon dioxide is around 0.03% in the atmosphere, and this gas, of course, it constitutes only 0.03%, but still it is an important gas. Plants require this gas. You all know that plants require this gas to carry out the process of photosynthesis. It does not help in burning, and hence it is used to put off the fire. As you all know that in extinguisher, fire extinguisher, carbon dioxide is being used because it stops the burning. Yes, it is dissolved in water to make soft drinks also. It is a major greenhouse gas which helps. How does it help? It keeps the earth warm at night by allowing the heat from the surface of the earth to escape. And however, an increase in the amount may also lead to global warming, which we will talk in our coming topic. Okay, so carbon dioxide plays a very important role Along with these all gases, there are certain gases which do not play a major role, and therefore they are other gases make up around 0.07% on the Earth's surface, and they are known as trace elements or trace gases. Okay, then the next topic is the oxygen cycle on the Earth. Now, oxygen carbon dioxide balance, of course it is. So we are going to talk, and you all know about what is oxygen cycle. Okay, oxygen is being transferred from one form to another. Now we all know that in atmosphere oxygen is present. This oxygen is used by human beings or and the animals present on the earth's surface for the process of respiration. When we respire, you all know that we take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide which is released by us is used by the plants for the process of photosynthesis. They take in carbon dioxide and again gives out oxygen. Okay, so this is how the cycle keeps on moving, it keeps on going. Carbon dioxide is being released by animals and human beings, which is consumed by the plants for making again oxygen. So this cycle goes on, and this relationship is known as oxygen carbon dioxide balance. It keeps a balance of both the gases present on the earth. Okay, so all of you have understood this. The next part is ozone layer. As we have seen that there are different gases present on the earth's surface, there is a layer after atmosphere between 16 to 20 kilometers we have above the surface of the earth, we have a layer which is known as ozone. It's a gaseous layer again. This layer does not allow the UV rays. You might have heard about UV rays, ultraviolet rays, which are harmful and which comes out from the sun, that are entering the earth's surface nowadays, because the pollution on the earth is increasing day by day. And you might have heard that on earth there is a hole, ozone hole being created, through which the ultraviolet rays which are harmful are getting entered. They are entering the earth's surface, which leads to many diseases, many skin diseases being caused. And therefore, to stop this, we need to reduce the pollution on the earth's surface. Okay, so all of you have understood that the ozone layer present on the earth's surface which protects the earth from the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun is getting depleted day by day by our own we can say activities that we are doing. Yes, all of you have understood this. Ultraviolet rays, they are the harmful rays and which cause skin cancer, eye problems and many other skin diseases too. So we need to reduce the pollution that is being caused due to human activities. This all was about the ozone layer depletion. Now, how does air supports life on the soil and water? You all know that air is present in soil and water as well. We have seen that the animals, the insects which lives in the soil, they need air. And how it is being supplied when the farmer tills the farm, the air which is present, atmospheric air which is present around, it enters in the pores of the soil, which is then utilized by the insects and microorganisms present in the soil. The same way, the aquatic plants and animals, they breathe in the air which is dissolved in the water. Okay, they utilize the dissolved oxygen which is present in the water. So this is how the air supports life in soil and water as well. The next part of our, we are going to talk it in the next part.